Dude, it was like 10:46 p.m. I was like, what in God's name are they going to do to run out the clock here? CM Punk comes out. Thankfully, they had Punk on standby here. He comes out to attack Cena, and he takes the belt away from Cena. Cena kicks him in the balls and hits him with the belt. And then out comes the table. And I'm still looking at this. I'm like, it's 10:48 p.m. They cannot do physicality with John. They can't do a match this long with John Cena. How are they going to get to 11 p.m.? He hits Punk with a second belt shot, and then the most deadly AA of all time as he puts CM Punk through this table at 10:48 p.m. And CM Punk would lay in this position paralyzed for the next 12 minutes as John Cena would recreate the pipe bomb. And
yeah, so very interesting to note. The match that took place right before the pipe bomb was John Cena versus R-Truth. So maybe that was...
Is that the whole reason they booked this match?
It could have been. It could have been. But I mean, you know, very interesting, very fun.
Now, I'm going to say this right off the bat. I understand this is a complete role reversal, that Cena had to just lay there for Punk's pipe bomb. But man, with Cena seated right there in front of Punk and Punk having to lie here for as long as he had selling this table spot, dude, I thought this guy could not look more just ridiculous.
What was better, at least about the pipe bomb itself, was that like Punk was all the way up at the stage and the camera was focused on Punk, right? This, I mean, we know why you had Punk in the shot, because they wanted the fucking Slim Jim logo in across the entire thing. But as a result, you're exposing how ridiculous the scenario is of Punk.
Listen, looked so impotent.
They did do the two belt shots ahead of it. I think that might be their justification, but still, it looked ridiculous, you know. And the whole thing is ridiculous anyway. This is a recreation of, you know, what at that point might have felt like a bit more of an organic
one of the most famous segments of WWE of the last easily 15 years, and
yeah.
Then we went to, I don't know, like a drama school recreation of this moment. So Cena, he's going like verbatim here, even stating that you lay there, hopefully as uncomfortably as you possibly can, the exact same way Punk started his promo, which they do note was, you know, it was June 27th, 2011. So Tessitore even mentioned this is the week this happened 14 years ago. But Cena customizes it for his own promo. Before I leave here in 6 months with the WWE Championship, I have a whole lot of stuff I have to get off my chest. Punk, I don't hate you or even dislike you. I like you. I hate the idea of you being the best in the world. I'm feeling a bit better right now because I'm feeling ways closer in sync with me as we go through this.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. I don't know this at all. It's June on the Post Wrestling Cafe. We are going through tons of your questions on the Ask Away mailbag show, and we're bringing you not one, but two editions of Rewind Away, including a review of the Katsuyori Shibata documentary, California Dreamin', covering his time as head trainer at the LA Dojo. Plus, Karen and Bruce have you covered for New Japan Dominion. Chris from LA has chosen another musical edition of Rewind Away to join Wei Ting and Nate Milton. Plus, we have extended editions of Rewind to Raw, Rewind to Dynamite, and Rewind to SmackDown coming at you every single week, along with all of your weekly favorites. It's postwrestlingcafe.com. He says, I'm the greatest of all time. You're better than me at one thing. You're the best bullshitter in the world. And no one popped for this line of Cena swearing harder than John Cena himself, who had to sell the shock of him swearing as the rest of this audience was just waiting for him to continue. He then references Stu, the cameraman. Look, I'm breaking the fourth wall, as I was breaking into laughter at this point. Truth is, I'm jealous of Punk because he's conned all these people into thinking he's the best in the world. And after they let bullshitter get through. They censored "goddamn" as he used that line. He says that you change your values as much as I change my t-shirts. You're a loudmouth opportunist, which sounds like a great t-shirt idea right there. A loudmouth opportunist. Then he waves into the camera to Claudio Castagnoli, Nick Nemeth, and Matt Cardona.
He even starts laughing.
Oh my God, dude. This was just, I mean, let's just continue here. Cena is the one that gave Punk the stage for his pipe bomb. And what have you done since? You've Sorry, I haven't gone through this since I typed these notes an hour ago. You've regurgitated the same 5 microphone moves of doom. You're a millionaire, not the voice of the voiceless. You're not a punk, but a capitalist. You're not against TKO. You are Mr. TKO. Your tweets are strong.
So he had a line following this that says, they knocked your balls technically off your body.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't even write that one down. But yes, that was.
What was that in reference to? They knocked your balls technically off your body. Like I was just wondering if he was referencing Punk's UFC career.
How do you get that?
Technical KO.
Okay.
TKO, I guess. Although I guess that doesn't have to do with the UFC. But like, if we're talking about who is the most sort of like Mr. TKO, like who has had history with like both brands? I mean, it'd be Brock and then it'd be Punk. Anyway, that is probably not.
Well, he was Mr. Unanimous Decision loss at against Mike Jackson as well. He did go the distance in one.
Okay, that was a unanimous decision. Never mind, doesn't work. Yeah, I guess TKO,
Mickey Gall it does. Mickey Gall it does.
Knocked your balls technically is just, I guess they're his play on words. Yeah. Okay.
He says your tweets are strong, but your actions are wrong. You're gonna have to face some loud music in Saudi Arabia. I've been the greatest for the last 25 years. And at this point, the crowd starts chanting Cena. He says, Punk, you were the best for 7 minutes 14 years ago, in reference to the pipe bomb. If you're still delusional to think you're the best after Night of Champions, well, it's a small world after all. You're welcome, Grand Rapids, and they all cheer John Cena at this. And he tells Punk to bring your A game because, as you can tell from this arena, the mood is starting to change. As Daphne LaShawn comes in after this guy's been dead for 10 minutes to check on him, see if he's still alive or still awake. As Cena says, "Don't worry, I'm not going to."
She was also there to give him the airtime cues.
Punk the cues or Cena?
No, Cena.
Okay, because Punk didn't have much to do here. He literally had nothing to do but lie here. So Cena, who it turned out had plenty of time left, says he hoists up the belt, gets even more cheers, and then, because he can't even fill anything more here, he says, "Hey, USA, you can keep the 2.5 minutes. I don't need a bomb." And then, channeling suffering succotash,
Elvis has left the motherfudging building.
Elvis has left the motherfudging business. And then thanks Punk for letting him rip off his promo to make him look even more foolish. At the end of this program, the only thing I can say is that if their design is not to turn CM Punk, then I don't know what we are doing here at this point. What they have done to this CM Punk character in this amazing 2-week period is utterly astounding. And by the end of this, it is the audience that is now, at least from this instance tonight, we're behind Cena, and Punk could not have looked more impotent in this role, laying here as his promo is just like garbled through John Cena's 2025 lens and heel character. I thought this segment was atrociously bad, but I don't want to sway you, Way.
You're not. I mean, okay, how are you grading like
I'm not even talking about did the promo flow? Was it entertaining? What was the purpose of this at the end of this? Was it for CM Punk to be this beloved babyface going after the heel to bring and rescue this title back to WWE? Because then this was an utter failure of a segment to have these two entrenched in their roles, the yin and the yang. And by the end of this, you felt like Punk better have the goddamn greatest promo of his life on Monday to somehow come out of this hole, because this has gone from, this is a guy who has compromised his morals to go to Saudi Arabia, which is the overall underlying theme of this, and is everything that John Cena has said, is that this guy is now, he's a millionaire now. He's Mr. TKO. He is the capitalist. And that's kind of how this is all being positioned. Like, none of these are necessarily lies. Like, he is the company man now going into Night of Champions. And I just thought you have taken, like, by the end of this way, my thought was, would this have been the worst idea that back at Elimination Chamber, we went with Punk to turn heel and join Dwayne Johnson so that he could get that Mania main event? And you'd have Cena trying to chase for his title throughout the year. I don't know. I thought this was awful. And I feel by the end of this, you've turned Cena, and it feels like Punk just does not feel anywhere where this guy was.
Okay, so you asked what was the point of this segment, John?
Yes.
To promote their match at Night of Champions, to get interest in their match at Night of Champions.
I think this match, I am not looking forward to this at all, just because of, I am not interested in seeing any John Cena wrestling matches right now.
Because of this promo?
Not because of this promo. It was because
you're
of the
not
5
interested
minutes
because
that
of the
preceded
wrestling.
It.
Yeah.
Yes, I am not.
So there's nothing they could have said to get you interested.
No, not really.
Okay. So then I don't know if they're playing to you anyway. The point of
are you really excited to see Punk going for this title to win it back?
Am I excited?
Are you excited about the outcome of this match? Like, what is at stake here?
Am I excited to see CM Punk win the championship? I'm excited to see what a match between these two looks like, but that's I think even maybe beyond the point here. Like, we're talking about the segment itself, right? And okay, so the point of it is, I thought it was a clever idea. Okay, like, we are doing CM Punk versus John Cena again in 2025. We happen to have R-Truth, who happened to be in the match that was that preceded the original pipe bomb. Let's do a reverse pipe bomb. Let's do the whole thing in reverse with a promo in reverse. I thought it was a clever idea. And whether or not, like, it was like a successful pipe bomb, I don't sense it was supposed to be risque or controversial. I sense it was the John Cena character mocking the what was at one time supposed to be a risque and controversial promo by I don't know, playing the hits, so to speak. And I would even suggest, like, maybe doing like almost like a farcical job of it to mock his opponent. So all of that I thought was effective. I like the idea in that, just simply having.
Was this designed to get a negative reaction for Cena? Do you think that was the goal of this segment?
There was nothing they could do to avoid the crowd from cheering the legend that is, like, performing in their town the last time. That's just a given. That's going to happen.
Wait a minute. Then we're talking about this entire run of Cena, it being ill-fated. If that's
okay,
your belief.
I also don't necessarily sense whether or not a story is successful should be whether or not this person is getting booed or this person is getting cheered. You deem whether or not a storyline is successful by whether or not people are paying tickets to go see it, and they are. So that alone, I think, is enough. Just like the original Cena run wasn't necessarily contingent on all the crowds cheering him. They were booing him when he was a babyface. But we still talk about a lot of those programs as if they were like successful money drawing programs, right? This is similar. Like, in the end, I don't think they care so much about whether or not people are booing or cheering Cena as much as they just want people talking about it. And I thought this was in construction and a good idea to get people talking about it, to put attention onto the program heading into the Night of Champions.
I would just say is my biggest complaint that I have currently of that we talked about, like, years back that one of the biggest struggles they had was booking baby faces. And one of the hallmarks of this turnaround for business has been having strong baby faces that the audience has really gotten behind. And you could argue the two biggest examples have been Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. And if you were to ask me, were Cody Rhodes and CM Punk more over on January 1st of this year versus today? I think both have diminished. And I thought tonight was, I think this whole Night of Champions build, I think everyone is underestimating how much it has compromised Punk to a not insignificant portion of the audience, because that has been the entire discussion. And I think this promo tonight, it only just emphasized those points and the audience like siding with the heel in this particular promo segment at the end of it. So I think you come out of it and it's just a diminished babyface in CM Punk is how I feel his character is at the moment.
Yeah, it's very possible. You know, I have no idea what the reaction to CM Punk coming off of Night of Champions is going to be. It could be that like maybe this will tank their business and like people won't go, you know, pay a ticket to see CM Punk or buy a CM Punk t-shirt after this. But I have my doubts about that because I've seen what a CM Punk fan is willing to endure. Okay, we've all been through this man's past 10 years, and we've seen the incredible, like, I think awful reputational damage that we all thought, you know, this man would have suffered from, and we've seen him completely weather that and come out on the other side, maybe more popular than ever. So there's just something very unique about CM Punk that I think makes him completely untouchable to any of this. He comes back next time to Grand Rapids, he's probably still going to get cheered like crazy.
Yeah, I think that he certainly needs something next week going into this that Monday did not provide when he was given a microphone to kind of like, that's the most we've sort of had of Punk to have his like promo time in all of this. Like, this segment does need a response on Monday.
Oh yeah,
or next week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That was your Slim Jim main event.
Yeah, it was, man. They are just so heavy-handed with the Slim Jim thing that it just... So it was not mentioned, like, you didn't have Tessitore say the line, oh, he really snapped him into a Slim Jim table. Like, he at least didn't do that because they knew they were going to get the stupid logo on camera for, like, 20 minutes, you know, in this promo. But, man, they're just so heavy-handed with it that it's just... At this point, every Friday, you could expect one table break through the Slim Jim table. It just completely, like, you know, takes the soul out of, like, not to say like it, I mean, it's a table break. What how much soul does it have? But it's
like imagine we were tasked with, okay, we want you to redo the pipe bomb segment. Like, mm-hmm. To me, it's just such a given that it would be, well, you've got to do it cross-legged at the top of the ramp. Like, well, isn't that just...
The problem is John Cena can't sit cross-legged.
That's a great point that I also did think about in this whole thing, was the fact that this guy probably cannot sit cross-legged. And
100%,
and I don't say that sarcastically.
He 100% can't sit cross-legged. Probably never could have, even in his best shape. I mean, it's a lot of people don't have that hip flexibility.
What are we talking about here? This guy has to wrestle for another 6 months.
Well, yeah, a lot of people can't sit.
The guy can't sit.
That's not... You could wrestle without sitting cross-legged.
Dude, this guy is so limited in what he can do. God bless him that he is doing out this year. But my God, when this guy, everyone has been asking, is like, do you think this will be his last match at the end of the year? I 100% believe this will be this man's last match. I think his last match was probably ideally several years ago at this point. If you need this R-Truth match to relive, I think that's everything you want to know about an impromptu match that was added to the schedule.
This was a match that probably never was supposed to be a match on his calendar.
No, it was, someone pointed out that, hey, this is how the pipe bomb was constructed. Boom, we've got our out for the show. We'll do 5 minutes of quote unquote wrestling, and then we'll do 15 minutes of the Slim Jim pipe. The pipe bomb sponsored by Slim Jim. I mean, just an absolutely corporatization of this segment in WWE's history.
Yeah, totally.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So there you have it, everyone. That was SmackDown. I would say I really, really enjoyed that Sami Zayn Randy Orton match. I absolutely hated the final. half hour of this show.
I love the discussion coming off of the final part of the show. I mean,
I was excited that I had someone to talk to about this afterwards, because I honestly I didn't know if this was going to be one of yours. Like this took the pipe bomb and then grew it into legendary levels.
I don't know if I could feel that way about anything attached to like, man, the Slim Jim, corporatization of Mark Shapiro. But
they think this thing's gonna go viral everywhere tomorrow. Like all these sites are gonna pick it up, and it's gonna be that Slim Jim logo.
Okay, they're not wrong, because I guarantee you tomorrow they're gonna be boasting about some sort of like YouTube hit, like record that this is going to set, and that's all well and good. But I don't know. Like I also like to gauge like how much like good word of mouth you might be attaching coming off of like a visual rather than just I have no idea. Maybe people, I don't know how people feel about this. I thought it was a good idea to do this, to get people talking about the match. It almost feels like a missed opportunity not to. This is the last time you're going to have CM Punk and John Cena before a CM Punk versus John Cena match. It almost makes too perfect sense to do this. So I'm kind of glad they did for that reason.
Yeah, I would be curious what was the desired result, if it was just to create a segment. This did not build up this match for me much, but I would say that I've just found this whole build to be a real puzzling one, that they have opted to go this direction with Punk and incorporating the Saudi Arabia stuff. I think you could have done this match and done a lot of this stuff and not done this with Punk. And you could be very right. Like, he has been Teflon throughout his career, and he has the defense mechanism of being a phenomenal promo, and that can get you out of a lot of awful booking too, as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.